All right. Good morning, everyone. We're in Washington, D.C. at the correctional facility where the political prisoners from January 6th are currently being held. I am with the members of Congress. Gaetz. Is the idea behind today? What do you want to see from this correctional facility or not see?
Well, we may get some questions answered here in just a second. We've all been writing letters, sending letters, asking questions about January 6th. We visited the Department of Justice on Tuesday, and so we're here at the jail in D.C. just asking questions. There's been a lot of stories that have been talked about from their families, the detainees that are being held here from January 6th.
First 4 people to come and ask for this tour, is that correct?
Oh, I believe Congressman Gohmert has attempted to get access previously, but there are 2 categories of information that we're principally concerned about. One is exculpatory evidence that is not available to people who are facing criminal process. That's why we went to the Department of Justice earlier this week to have a talk about that evidence and the plans for it. And our second category of concern regards the treatment of people.
Her supervisor has said, quote, that they are trespassing by attempting to come into this correctional facility.
People that vote on whether or not to fund you, at what level, and we're trespassing.
I understand that.
My
I'll see if my
gosh, the
supervisor's
government is
available.
upside
Can
down.
you please go ask your supervisor?
You right now are obstructing entrance into this facility. This is the way people enter. You're obstructing your
We
entrance.
won't obstruct the entrance,
Nope,
but
we'll
we're not
help anybody.
trespassing. No, that's what we're doing. Okay, we'll clear the entrance. We'll clear the pathway.
All right, so these 4 representatives have currently been accused of trespassing and obstruction so far. Very interesting.
Wanted to inspect the facility.
Here, I'll
see
give you
how
an
people
example
here
of my
are treated.
questions.
We
I'll
had
tell
gotten
you.
some reports, in fairness, and
Yep.
we wanted to see for ourselves.
Simple questions.
As I've done before and never run into this, but that was a different administration.
Like, what are visitation hours? Access to religious texts and reasonable religious service accommodations, access to exercise, portion of time in lockdown, solitary confinement, nutritional content, access to communication with families and attorneys, whether the prosecution made potentially exculpatory evidence available to the appropriate defense counsels of the accused. We're just asking questions. These are the same types of questions that we ask when we go to detention centers at the border, where they house illegals that come into our country. I just went to one just recently in California where U.S. Marshals and ICE keep detainees and ask the same types of questions.
And what was your response in the conversation you had with someone, a representative of the D.C. Corrections Facilities just a moment ago?
They told us that we were trespassing, but when I went to the detention center in California, ICE and U.S. Marshals were wonderful. They gave us a full tour, and it was a beautiful, clean facility. And I thought, wow, America is the most generous country in the world, and how we treat people that have broken laws to come in our country.
And normally, we go somewhere that's
Sir,
federal.
are you the-
We
are you the
show our
supervisor?
ID, our congressional ID, 435 of these, then
I think
we're
we're
not
waiting to
treated like
speak
this.
to the supervisor.
Mr. Gaetz?
I mean, it's very unusual for members of Congress to be
she's
denied
the
the opportunity to inspect a facility. We've all had the chance to do that before, so we're wondering why this circumstance is so unique.
All right, so we're stepping outside right now. It appears the supervisor is actually out here, and we're going to see what they have to say. It seems that they are avoiding them. They're standing outside. The supervisors are standing outside hanging out in a corner, avoiding, what's really going on here, which is these 4 congressmen simply asking for permission to enter and inspect the facilities here today. We're live. This is Right Side Broadcasting Network.
I get regular invitations to come tour incarceration facilities around my district. I'm welcome around the state, but those are state of Texas facilities. Those that are now run by a Democratic administration, much like the Border Patrol, they say we are doing things in secret like a good totalitarian government, and you don't get to know or see. You get to vote, but you don't get to see anything the money is being spent on. This has got to change.
They said this was a supervisor. They had us come out here. She went back in and they locked us out.
We're currently locked out from. Let's confirm this. Florida Representative Matt Gaetz is currently locked out of the DC Correctional Facility. This is. Oh, let's see if they lock him out too. How can you? An attorney is here to visit his client, and they have locked him out from seeing his client. This is ridiculous.
Let me put it in a language you can understand.